Welcome to ProjectME, the podcast. I'm your host, Tiffany Carter, the founder of ProjectME, multimillionaire entrepreneur, former TV newscaster, money-making expert, female empowerment speaker, and self-proclaimed office supply addict. My mission is to take the mystery out of making big money. Every week on ProjectME, the podcast, I'll share success tips, strategies, and stories from other entrepreneurs, experts, and millionaires, showing you exactly how you can achieve your most exceptional life. Now let's get to it. Exciting announcement for all of my listeners. I've officially opened my exclusive group, the ProjectME Passive Income Posse, to the public. This group is by application only, so we can keep the group high vibe and spend our time, energy, and expertise only helping those of you who truly want massive success and impact. You get live weekly trainings from me, special guest coaches, and direct access to me and my business partner for all of your questions. To learn more and apply, go to projectmewithtiffany.com, click on Work With Me, and select ProjectME Posse. And of course, any questions, feel free to DM me at ProjectME with Tiffany. Welcome to the podcast and posse, ProjectME with Tiffany Carter. I'm your host, Tiffany, and today I am going to tell you the 3 things I wish someone had taught me about money many years ago. Would I have listened? Perhaps, but I would have liked to have had someone who I trusted and respected share these 3 things with me. So I want to do that for you. You know, some people think, okay, well, no one taught me that, so I don't want to, teach other people that. Like, I don't want to give other people a head start or a leg up or, a faster track to success. But I'm the opposite. To me, that's like a scarcity mindset. I'm the opposite. Like, yeah, I did a lot of things the hard way because I was doing them alone. No one taught me. It was also because I had no self-worth. And it was also because I didn't ask for help. But I want to be what I wish I had during all of my years of business. I now have a lot of that support today, but I've been in business 11 years. So I want to give that to all of you so you can make money off your dreams and your passions much faster and much easier and without, losing your mind as many times. I'm not going to tell you without losing your mind completely, because if you aren't having any breakdowns at all while you're building your business, then you don't really want it bad enough. And you're not cut out for it. Like, you should be having a meltdown like at least once a quarter. I'm not saying you should quit, but if you're not having a meltdown, you're not in it hard enough and you don't want it badly enough and you don't care enough. So if in case no one told you that, that's a little added bonus for today. All right. So the first thing I wish someone taught me about money years ago is that money is actually easy to make. I was always taught and shown that money is very hard to make. And if you want a lot of it, you're going to have to damn near kill yourself, sacrifice most of your joy in order to get it. And that's how, rich people are rich. And I grew up wealthy. And this was modeled for me by my primary parent, my mom, who's a self-made entrepreneur, but it did not look sexy, fun in any way. It looked miserable. I mean, it was nonstop chaos in that household. And she ran that business for many years out of our house. I mean, you guys, it wasn't normal. I mean, we had 10 phone lines going at a time. There were 40, employees coming in and out. I mean, it was pure insanity. And, because of the nature of her business, the holidays were even more insane. And it was like, that was the last thing that I wanted, was to be an entrepreneur. And everything that like corporate America and a lot of what society teaches us is that like, money is actually hard to earn. You have to, the early bird gets the worm, come to be the first to work and the first to work in the morning and the last to leave. Those are the successful people. Well, not only was I having that said to me, but it was being modeled to me, and she was successful. So it was like, God, if you want to have a lot of money, you have to get this. I was like, fuck, not only do I not want to be an entrepreneur, but I don't want a lot of money if that's what this means. That's a whole nother episode in terms of mindset. But I wish someone actually told me, hey, money is easy to make. Now, my dad, on the other hand, you guys will find this interesting. He's also an entrepreneur. My father was a model of, he did it the opposite way from her. It looked easy. He loved it. He didn't look like he worked that much. Now, he was, 14 years older than my mom. So I think I attributed it to some of that, it was kind of like, well, maybe it's just because he's older, and that's why, because I wasn't with him that much. And my dad didn't really talk to me. He was very, affectionate and loving, but he didn't talk to me. So I would have loved it if he explained to me, like, I'm not putting your mom down. She has one way of doing things, but so you can be very successful and make a lot of money while enjoying it. And actually, if you enjoy it and you do it with that energy of ease, money's really easy to make. That would have been great if he told me that. And if my dad knew how to communicate better, he would have told me that, because he did model it. But, you can't expect a kid to put all those things together. So I'm here to tell you guys it actually is easy. But when we believe it's hard, and when we believe it's only, it's only for those select chosen ones, and we believe it takes a lot of work, and we believe it takes a lot of sacrifice, then guess what? Our beliefs become a reality, and then we continue to find evidence of that being the truth. So I would say to this, be open that there's another way. Think about where a lot of these sayings and slogans came from. They came from old school, like that Mad Men show, like that old school corporate environment where they wanted to brainwash their employees that that's what it took to get the raise. That's what it took to get the promotion, because they want you to be robots and working yourself to the bone. And then decades later, they brought in, HR people saying work-life balance, which that's when I was in corporate America, was like the whole work-life balance thing. And we would all roll our eyes because it was work-life balance. Yet if you weren't doing all the extra things and working the conventions and trade shows on the weekend and, volunteering to do extra projects, you were never going to get the promotion or the raise. So they just did that for smoke and mirrors. So just keep in mind where a lot of these slogans and sayings come from. They aren't actually true. That is number one. The second thing I wish that someone told me about money years ago, I had down here, you guys, I'm looking at my notes. I had down here like that money won't make you happy. And then I scribbled it off because I think you guys know that. You guys know that money won't make you happy. It makes your life easier. It buys you nice shit. It buys you experiences. It does give you peace of mind and freedom. But I can tell you that I had millions in the bank and I was miserable and wanted to kill myself. And I'm not like saying that tongue in cheek. Like I actually plotted my death. So that's why I had that on here. But I believe you guys do know that money doesn't make you happy. It does give you an easier way of life, right? But I mean, look at the celebrities that off themselves with pills, or like Robin Williams, or, addictions. These people have tons of money. They have yachts, they have planes, they have money for generations, yet they're miserable. So I think you guys know that. That's why I scribbled it off. I kind of snuck it in here so you can look at it maybe as like number 1A. But really, the second thing is that in order to acquire true wealth where you actually aren't working your ass off for it all the time, you need multiple streams of income. This is also why I'm so passionate about teaching about passive income. there's only one of us, and this body gets tired, this body gets sick, this body gets bored, this body wants to play, right? If we don't have ways of making income without us being directly involved all the time, you can only make so much money. And there's some of us who have a shit ton of energy. That's not me, by the way. You might think I have a lot of energy because you see me, speaking on a stage or on a podcast or on video. I truly love doing this, so it lights me up. But am I like an Energizer Bunny person? No, I'm not. And I wish I had been told early on, you need to build other ways of making passive income because there's only one of you. And if you're dependent on your own energy and time for money all the time, you're going to get capped out and tapped out and burnt out. But no one told me that. In fact, my ego also wanted me to believe that I had to be directly involved all the time to make a lot of money. I didn't even really want to see that I could make passive income without me being involved. It almost seemed like bullshit to me. Like I wasn't buying into it. Thankfully, I learned that quite a few years ago, but I want to tell you guys now, like you can start building passive income and you just start one day at a time. It's not like I started building passive income after I made a lot of money. You can start, building it now and thinking of other things that you can bring into your business, bring into your brand that you can sell. You can, even one thing for passive income is you could put a whole bunch of stuff on a Poshmark store, like lightly used stuff from your closet on a Poshmark store. And then you wake up to, notifications that people bought stuff, or on Craigslist. Depending on, what your style is, you can do paid printables. And you can have people be buying your printables or an ebook. It doesn't have to be a 300-page book. Courses. There's so many different things you can do. Yes, you have to put a little bit of upfront effort, but at least that money is making money off that initial effort. It can even be for years to come if you do it the right way. So it's something that I teach in my ProjectME Passive Income Posse. If you're interested in learning more how to incorporate, passive income into your business and your life and ways that feel good to you and that makes sense with your passions, just DM me at ProjectME with Tiffany, and then I'll send you the link to apply. Okay. That's the best way to reach me. So the third thing I wish someone told me about money early on years ago is the compound effect. This is the thing, you guys. You make massive amounts of money using the compound effect. But I've heard the phrase, which I'm sure you guys have heard it too, like money makes money, the rich only get richer. So it's like, what I thought that meant was, well, yeah, like when you have a lot of money, you can start buying different properties and selling them, or investing in businesses and making money off those businesses, or buying and selling stocks. So that's what I thought that's what that meant, right? What I now understand it to mean is, when you have money, whether it's $5,000, whether it's $1,000, whether it's $500, whether it's millions of dollars, you start growing that year after year after year. You put money away every week or every month, and then you make sure that money is in some kind of, and I'm not a financial advisor, but I'm just, giving an example, in some kind of a, 6-month CD, 1-year CD. You start doing these investments that, really don't cost you any money to get in, that are through a bank or through a big financial institution. And you just keep, even if it's $20 a week, and then maybe a year from now, you can put in $60 a week, and you keep putting that in. Now that money will keep making money. And you're like, God, Tiffany, if I'm only putting in, $10, $20 a week, what's that going to do for me, 10 years from now? With the compound effect, it does a lot, because money makes money makes money. You could put in, I can't do math in my head, nor do I feel like it. I should do an infographic on this because I think that would really help you. So be on the lookout for it on my Instagram. I'm on Facebook too at ProjectME with Tiffany, but turn on your notifications for at ProjectME with Tiffany so that you don't miss any of my posts. And I will make sure that we create an infographic really helping you see what I mean by the compound effect, and not with putting away even $1,000 a month. The more, the better. But you can do it with $5 a week, $10 a week. And within 3 years, even 5 years, now you have 15 grand. Do you see what I'm saying? Because that money is making money, that's making money, and it's the discipline of putting it away. Now you have 15 grand. Then imagine now another 3 years. Now you have $45,000. Now another 3 years. Now you have $75,000. This is what I mean by the compound effect. So if I had someone like spell that out for me and then on top of it, do some kind of an infographic or a diagram like I'm going to do for you and show it, my mind would have been totally freaking blown. I would have been like, oh my God, it's totally worth it. Like I could maybe, if I just did my own nails, right, with tip and everything, manicure, pedicure, the whole gel manicure thing, I would have an additional, let's just say, realistically, I would have an additional, because I get them done every 2.5 weeks. So let's just say I would have an additional $180 a month to put away. If I had known this years ago, I would have been doing my own nails the entire time. I would have never gone out to coffee at Starbucks unless it was like once in a while. I would have made my coffee at home from the beginning, and I would have put all that money towards the compound effect, and there would be a giant lump waiting for me. Is the giant lump going to be there in a year when you're starting with that small amount? No, it's money you have to pretend it doesn't exist. And in 3 years, you're like, holy shit. And then as long as you don't touch it, now you go another 3 years and it's like, oh my God, that's a lot of money. And the more you have to do it with, the faster that grows. This is a key contributor why I have $1 million in the bank, not just bringing in hundreds of thousands of dollars a year, right? I'm saying in the bank cash money is because of the compound effect. And I started with what I could at the time. If I knew about it, let's just say even when I was, I started working at 11, if we're being real, but let's just say I knew this, I don't know. Even if I knew this at like 22 years old and I have $5, I would have done it with $5 had it been explained this way. So be on the lookout for this infographic so you can see what I mean. Hopefully I, give a good explanation as well as I could verbally. But let me know that you guys really like this episode, that giving you this real straightforward talk with love and sharing with you with what I wish was shared with me, you feel is beneficial. It would really mean the world to me if you guys could leave a written 5-star review. Yes, it does have to be on iTunes. I know a lot of you listen on Spotify, iHeartRadio, Google Play, Podbean, and other things. Even if you don't have an iPhone or a Mac, you can still leave a review on iTunes, but it needs to be a written review. If you're not sure how to do that, it literally will take you 90 seconds, and you can just Google how to leave a podcast iTunes review, and they give you like the 6 steps, and then you're done. That would mean a lot. That makes the show get shown to more people. That allows me to continue to bring this free content to you that's not free for me to produce. Plus, it would really make my freaking day. Love you guys so much. Wishing you great health, wealth, and worth as always. Talk to you soon. If you enjoyed this podcast, please write a 5-star review on iTunes. Not only will this make me super happy, but it will allow more listeners to find our special show. Simply help me help others.